In this video, let us learn about the story of the great Vishvamithra Maharishi. If you felt this video was worth watching, please like, share, and subscribe. A rich and prosperous kingdom was ruled by a king named Khadi. He had only one daughter named Satyavati and no boy child. He wanted to perform his daughter's marriage with a great king. One day, a sage Rishigar came to his palace. He saw Satyavati's qualities and was very much impressed. He wanted to marry her and told his feelings to King Khadi. The king couldn't refuse the wish. However, he did not want his daughter to marry the sage. During the conversation, the king cleverly told, "I will arrange for my daughter's marriage if you fulfill my request." Sage Rishikar told, "Tell me your wish. I will try to do it." The king then told, "I need 1,000 horses with one ear black in color and the rest of the body white." The king thought that the sage could not achieve this and happily presumed that his daughter could be married to another king. As per the king's wish, the sage Rishigar went in search for 1,000 horses. He could not find any of those type of horses. He prayed to Lord Varuna. Lord Varuna appeared before him and granted 1,000 horses as per the king's wish. Sage Rishigar took all the horses to the king's palace and gave it to him. The king got stunned and there was no other choice. He performed the marriage of his daughter Satyavati with the sage Rishigar. One day, the happy sage told Satyavati, "Ask what you want, I will grant it." She said that she would ask the boon the next day. After that, she went to her mother's house and told her about the boon. The mother asked, "What are you going to ask?" She told the mother, "If you want anything, I will add it with my wish." The mother told Satyavati, "I don't have a boy child. I want a prince to rule this country." Satyavati went to her husband and asked, "I need a boy child, and my parents also need a boy child to rule my country." Sage Rishikar prayed to Lord Varuna and offered the prasadam in 2 vessels to Satyavati. He told Satyavati to eat the first prasadam and asked her mother to eat the second one. The sage also gave instruction to Satyavati that the next day morning, after taking bath, Satyavati must do pradakshana around the fig tree and her mother must do pradakshana around the peepal tree. Satyavati went to her mother and explained sage Rishigar's instruction. Satyavati's mother thought that the first prasadam will be the best and hence asked Satyavati to give first prasadam to her so that she would give birth to a great king to rule the country. Satyavati accepted the agreement and exchanged the prasadam with her mother and also did the pradakshana as per the sage's instruction. After 2 months, they both became pregnant. However, sage Rishigar saw the transformation of Satyavati's fetus's form and he realized everything in his brain that foresaw the incidents. Sage Rishigar got very angry and told Satyavati that she did a big mistake. "Since I am a Brahmin, my son should also be born as a Brahmin, and your father's child must be a Kshatriya, since your father is also a Kshatriya. So, the child born to your father will become a sage, and our child will become a warrior because you exchanged the prasadam." Satyavati felt very sad and asked Rishigar, "Is there any solution to rectify this?" Rishigar replied that with my powers, I will transform our child to a Brahmin. However, the child born to your mother will be a Kshatriya, but will be transformed to a sage after a certain period of time, and he will go for penance as a rishi. After 10 months, a child was born to Satyavati, and the child was later known as Jamadakni, rishi by the world. The child born to Satyavati's mother grew up as a king Kaushika. King Kaushika ruled his country well for a few years, but during a period of his rule, There was a famine that struck the entire country, and people were starving for food. King Kaushika was worried and tried to find a solution to get rid of the poverty and famine. In search of a solution, King Kaushika was going in the forest with his army. At that time, he went to Rishi Vashishtar's ashram. Vashishtar received the king and asked the king and all his army to have food at his ashram. King Kaushika asked Vashishtar, "How will you be able to feed all of us?" Vashishtar said, "I will." He said he could feed everyone and provided plenty of food to all the soldiers and the king. King Kaushika was stunned. He asked, "How did this happen?" Vashishtar then showed the cow Nandini and then told Nandini is the calf of Kamadhenu cow and it is powerful enough to give us whatever we wish to have. King Kaushika thought that if they took this cow to their kingdom, then they could resolve the famine and poverty, and their people will not be hungry. They could live happily. The king asked Vashishtar to give Nandini cow to him. But Vashishtar told, "This was the cow gifted by Indran, and I have no right to give it to others." The king Kaushika ordered his soldiers to drag the cow. Soldiers tried to drag the cow, but Vashishtar got angry by this act and burned all the soldiers with one sight. The king realized that Vashishtar had strength to oppose anyone, even the king with his power, the strength to oppose him alone. So the king Kaushika asked, "How is this possible?" Then Vashishtar told, "I am a Brahmarishi, and whatever I say will happen." After realizing the power of penance, King Kaushika thought and became a sage, and later was called as Vishvamithrar. He did severe penance and got the title of Brahmarishi by Vashishtar.